Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us.
Hell yeah.
They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Hey guys, we are lucky. We're all lucky. We're all unlucky. I was talking to my wife the other day, and I was getting so frustrated because I have so many things going on, and it's not that I guess I'm a little bit of a scatterbrain, but sometimes I feel like, oh yeah, just come on, Brent, stick to something. But I'm like, wait a minute, I've done the same businesses for decades, and I keep in contact and network with the same people for decades because I know a lot of people that jump around. They always wonder why they look next to them and wonder why they don't have good opportunities or good people. And I think there's a lot to be said about just sticking to something. If you have a 100-watt light bulb, it's going to illuminate a room, but it's not going to do much damage. But you condense it and you focus that 100 watts, and it could become a laser. The same 100 watts, and it will do some. It will leave some serious impressions. I shouldn't say damage because then it sounds like, we're trying to damage things and people. But so I'm like, gosh, why the heck am I not getting my big break? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we do okay for ourselves, and the kids are fed, and the roof stays over the house, and we drive decent cars, and if we really want to do something, we could do it. We just space it out. It's not like it used to be where you just buy anything you want, do anything you want. And like I said, I downsized just to kind of lower my stress. Maybe I'll do it again. Who knows? But anyway, so I'm thinking, gosh, what am I doing wrong? And I'm thinking, maybe I'm not doing things terribly wrong. I was just talking to a guy today, and we're talking about, I go, if I would have gotten super wealthy at a younger age, I think it would have ruined me. Not that I'm some bad person, but I think that I wouldn't have been ready to handle the money and I could handle the money, believe I could spend it like nobody's business if I have to, but I think if I had money, I would have attributed it to, okay, I have money, now I spend money, and now we get happy. Now we look at the nice things I bought, and then how we walk around my nice house that I have. But I come to realize that the people I know that have the super duper nice houses, it just seems like the house owns them. And then the super nice cars, and I know a guy, I just talked to him the other day, and he has, of course, a big garage. I mean, it's probably a 12-car garage, I think, because it's 3 wide and 4 deep. But then he has the little hydraulic hoists where you could raise the car and park underneath it, and they're all hooked up to, it looks like they're on life support because they're all on the little slow trickle chargers. And I'm thinking, it's just I had to go in there and do some work, and we're moving cars around, and it's like, it's a lot of work. I don't think when he's jumping in the new is it the Z06 Corvette, the brand new one, that they went to, they're calling it something else, and then they call it this again. But anyway, I don't think he's appreciating all the cars as he's moving them around. And I was talking to him, and he's like, yeah, you could pretty much only appreciate one. And that's, like, I have a few cars, but it is a lot of work. It's a lot of stress and everything else. And I'm thinking, if I would have been one of these multi-millionaires, I probably would not appreciate any vehicle I have as much as, like, I have an older Jeep I drive, and I don't drive it much, so when I do drive it, I enjoy it. It just has a rag top on top, and it is enjoyable to drive. And I'm thinking, I bet you I can get any car out there, and eventually, yeah, of course you get over the euphoria of, let's say it's an exotic car, but after a while you probably don't enjoy it much more. Of course, some of the performance is fun, but I think especially with vehicles, you're never going to have a car that goes fast enough, and it's always, just like you're never going to have a stereo that's loud enough, and it's the old thing where you get a bigger motor, well, then you get bigger brakes and better suspension, so now you can go faster, but it just never ends. So I'm thinking maybe it's a good thing that I'm at where I'm at, and while the times when I was younger and say, oh, how come I'm not, where's my luck? Maybe it's a good thing, and it definitely, it contributes to where I'm at today. Being unlucky, and believe me, I am very unlucky when it comes to luck. My dad and we were in, I think Laughlin, or no, okay, where do we stay? The Rio. So yeah, we were in Vegas, and so we went to a roulette machine, the not the big Wheel of Fortunes, the one that's lays flat, and so we bet. I put, I don't know, $25, $20 or whatever on black, and comes up red. So I'm like, all right, just my luck. So I put the $20 on red, and okay, what I did is I usually try to double it. So if I lose 5, then I put 10, and so on and so forth. I figure, okay. So I, Mr. Big Spender, so I put $20 on the red and $20 on the black. Almost like, I don't know, just to feel like we're in the game, just to fart around like, oh, typical, and just a sideways move. Son of a bitch, if it landed on green. And I'm like, well, there you go. It's definitely not the luck of the Irish, but I was going to. I used to work on all my vehicles that we would send out in the field, and I remember I was in Rialto one time, beautiful Rialto, 110 degrees, full of graffiti. Everything has to be locked down, otherwise it grows legs. Welding, all this stuff, and it was over the weekend. And I remember my friends, my wonderful friends, were sending me pictures of them hanging out by the pool, drinking the Corona Lights or whatever, Coors Lights. And I sent them a picture of me welding in 110 degree weather. And haha, very funny. But I would much rather be with them, but this had to be done, and we build. I used to build all of our vehicles because we have to kind of. It's a custom thing that we do, and you can't go and buy it. So guess what? Lucky us, we get to spend a bunch of money and a bunch of time building it for the company we have. So, I say we because my cousin has a sister company, and he's a few miles from here. So we try to dominate the state by divide and conquering. Anyway, so some years passed by, maybe a couple years, and I had in a former life, I had a vacation planned out in Arizona, and I didn't want it to go to waste because I was real busy. So I'm like, son of a bitch, I'm gonna rent a Corvette, drive out to where all my friends are, and just hang out with them. Because I paid for everything, I paid it, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So I'm like, all right, I could just rent a nice Corvette. I think Hertz does it. Get out there and hang out a little bit, come back. So get the car, race out there, literally a race out there. I would have, one of two things could have happened. One, when you go the speeds that I was going, when you're so excited, you're off of work, you're driving a nice car. When you roll, you just don't roll 2 times. You roll like 15 times, and we were on it. And So I get out there and I pull up, and my friend, the one that sent me those wonderful pictures, he saw the Corvette and he looks at me and he goes, and I'll never forget this, "You are lucky." And I didn't even bother with the response. And we're still friends today, off and on. We're both busy, but I'll never forget that though. He said, "Oh, you're lucky," and I'm just. I hearken back to me with a welder's mask in 110 degree weather while I stared at those pictures of him and my brother-in-law sending me the pictures of them by the pool. And I'm thinking, it's just like the old saying, we kind of create our own luck. And I was looking at I was driving not too long ago, maybe half an hour ago, and there was two girls walking. They're very overweight, and I was gonna say fat, but what's the point of doing that? All people are gonna do is get pissed off. And I actually said something. One of my my YouTube videos. It said that something. It said fat. I'm thinking. So I changed it on my website, but I didn't change it on YouTube. So later on, it'll be interesting if that ever comes back to me. So anyway, so these two fat girls, really cool, PHAT, were walking, and I wonder if they ever feel like poor them, like they're overweight, and in that. I wonder if they know that it's a certain set of habits or not doing certain things is where they're at. And, I because these people will say you're lucky. You look at like homeless people, a lot of times they talk trash about people that are well off. And because I've heard them, and they'll say, you're lucky, you're this, you're that. And, it was not, I know a lot of homeless people have schizophrenia and certain things, but I think in a lot of cases, it's bad decisions that lead to abuse of, whatever they're abusing. And then that, in some cases, in my opinion, leads to a lot of the mental problems, mental issues that make it tough, make them unlucky, so to speak. And so it's like, when addressed with this, it's all about that initial thing you're doing that will add or take away from your luck. And, it's just, like I said, it's doing that thing that you don't like to do. I run all these things through my mind, and, I'm sure a lot of them come out offensive, and, that's kind of where we're going. Eventually, we are going to have to get offensive, because if you're constantly trying to please everybody and not saying anything offensive, then guess what? Everything flows downhill, and downhill is the easiest thing to do, to compliment people, to when you have a friend, like all these people that are dying, that are ODing, it's because they have enablers around them that constantly say nice things. They never offend their friends. And if you keep on going downhill, because that's the easiest thing to do, there's less resistance, you're going to wind up in a bad spot. And for the people that constantly are saying, "Oh, you're lucky," and you're lucky, eventually you got to start changing your own luck. And it's when I say I run this through my mind and come out, it's because I want people that are feeling unlucky and are feeling bad and need that push. Like I say, even the best employee needs pushed. I've had a lot of good employees, and I've had to push every one of them, because after a while they get a little bit jaded. So I don't have to push them near as much as the bad employees. In fact, the bad employees I want to push off the cliff, but just a little bit of a nudge, and keep them going the right direction. But we to improve our luck, we have to push our own self a little bit. We have to nudge it and improve our luck. And it is offensive. Sorry, to do these things that are